We are pleased to be joined by Dr. Jennifer Robinson, Executive Director for of the Center for Pedagogy at Montclair State University. Good to see you, Doctor.
It's great to be here.
People don't know this word pedagogy, which means...
The art and science of teaching.
It is an art and a science both?
Correct.
Talk about that.
Absolutely. Well, you know, people are not necessarily born teachers. They may have predispositions towards teaching, and, you know, a lot of times you hear stories about people lining up their friends to teach them, etc. But there are also things that you can learn about teaching, and that's where the science part comes in. That's where the ability to learn strategies, methodologies for teaching and doing it better and better and better. So it's both an art, it's the ability to be able to capture students' imagination and engage them and get them really interested in a particular subject or topic, but it's also strategies and methodologies that have been practiced over the years.
And the center?
And the center actually oversees all aspects of bringing together all of the major players in preparing new teachers. The arts and sciences faculty, who are over the disciplines that they learn, the majors that they have, as well as the education faculty who teach them about child development and all kinds of things around teaching and learning, and then also the schools. Our schools have to be partners and they have to be involved in the preparation of teachers.
Let me ask you this. I mean, you've been committed to the art and the science and the practice of teaching for a few years. When did you know this would be your life's work?
That's a great question. I think when I was very young, I was actually around kindergarten. I think I loved my kindergarten teacher.
Where'd you grow up?
Newark, New Jersey.
Me too. What part of the city?
Week section, South Ward.
I was on the other side,
North Ward.
Was it a teacher that did it for you?
It was.
Public
Many
school
teachers,
teacher?
many teachers, sure.
Inspired you?
Absolutely.
So you saw something in that teacher?
I was impressed, I think, that, and I think for me it was very fortunate that much of what my parents were teaching me at home was reinforced in school, and so the school and our home worked together. I saw teachers who saw something in me and encouraged me as a young person. I was very shy growing up, but I had teachers, absolutely. But I had teachers who saw my potential and really inspired me and really helped me to grow and develop. And I think it started there. I think also, being in YMCA programs and being a part of leadership development and teen programs also sort of helped me to see that I was a leader. And of course, I was working in the Y at the time, was a junior leader, so I was teaching swim class, I was teaching gymnastics, I was teaching all kinds of low-level activities. So I was working with children when I was a teenager. You
know, I have to ask you this. I'm not even going to wait till later on because I'm a student of leadership and people know I ask this question of a lot of people. Teachers are leaders. You can't be a great teacher without being a leader. Plus you've had these experiences at the Y at a very young age and other places. What's your greatest leadership lesson you think you've learned?
That's a great question. I think that you don't always have to be in the limelight to be a leader. You don't have to be in the front. You can lead from the rear. You can lead from behind. You can, you don't have to be the number one person. The other thing is that you have to allow people to make their own decisions about how and when they will follow. It's not always going to happen at one time. I think leading and getting people going in a direction is a process, and I think you have to believe that people will develop and grow to where you hope they will be.
You don't have to be out front, is right. The effort to recruit more minorities into teaching, top priority. Why? What's the problem? What's the priority?
It's twofold. One is that if, in fact, we have people of color who are out in teaching, in leadership roles, then all of our students begin to have a sense that people who are minority groups can lead, and that they are not in roles that are subservient or in roles that are not as important. It's interesting, I just came from the National Summit on Teacher Diversity, and our Education Secretary, John King, spoke about the fact that having teachers of color in the classroom isn't just to have role models for students who are from minority groups, but it's for all students, so that we will perhaps do away with some of the stereotypes we have about certain groups. One of the panelists who was at that summit talked about the fact that some of the violence that we're seeing against people of color perhaps is because many of our police officers, those in positions where they're protecting the public, have not had engaging and meaningful conversations and interactions.
I may not have had black
with
teachers.
People from exactly.
Or minority teachers.
That's right. That's
so,
right.
So it's not just black kids, minority kids.
That's right.
Need to see someone who looks like them. That's part of it.
That's part of it. That's why I said
Not the
it's
whole
twofold.
thing.
It's not the whole thing.
Is it harder to recruit minorities into the classroom to teach than it is other groups?
I think so. I think years ago, in say the 50s, the 60s, going into teaching was the pathway to the middle class, and many minorities, that was the only pathway, that and perhaps nursing, perhaps. And so you had many, many teachers of color going into historically black colleges and universities, and that was their major.
Now
and
more
that's what they
options?
did. Many more options, certainly. Affirmative action has opened doors for students, EOF opportunities as well, and so that's one of the reasons. Another reason is I think many of our students of color, our minority students, have perhaps been undereducated, and so they haven't had the educational opportunities to aspire to become teachers as well. So sometimes that's a barrier. Another barrier that we're very much aware of at Montclair State is, of course, the fact that many times students don't have the financial support that they need in order to get into teacher preparation programs.
One quick question here. Because you know Newark so well, but you're also at Montclair State running this program, Montclair State helps teachers prepare to go into cities like Newark to teach. Why is it any different? Except because I was in the public schools in Newark back in the day, if you will. It's a challenge.
Yeah.
How do you teach them to teach?
Well, two things we do. Even before our students are admitted to our program, we actually, because we're in a partnership with the Newark Public Schools, along with 29 other school districts in the area around Montclair State, we do believe that the students there need as many new people coming in and helping the educational process there. And so our students actually performs public service, community service.
By the way, we'll keep talking
schools.
off the air, but by the way, thank you, Doctor. We'll keep explaining this off the air.
Sure.
But that is a real challenge, isn't it?
The preceding program has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating over 25 years of broadcast excellence, and 13 for WNET, NJTV, and WHYY. Funding for this edition of Caucus New Jersey has been provided by the PNC Foundation, the New Jersey Education Association, JFK Medical Center, Delta Dental of New Jersey, the Healthcare Foundation of New Jersey, the New Jersey Chamber of Commerce, and by Verizon. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area. Caucus New Jersey has been produced in partnership with TriStar Studios.